by the Ghana Revenue Authority, well PLC is Civil Insurance, Ghana Link Network Services, and Meridian Port Services MPS. It's also brought to you by Phoenix Insurance. Now, we will be streaming live on our social media pages tonight, and we'll be streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Still on Facebook, we are live at Port of Tema, and on YouTube, we are streaming live at Iron Port. We shall be getting interactive with you, and so all you have to do is sit back, relax, and grab your phones and send us your messages and comments via our dedicated WhatsApp line, which is 0538-037353, 0538-037353. Now, when the time is ripe and I pick signals from the production team, we shall activate the phone lines for you to call in and contribute to the discussion. Indeed, the show is proudly powered by GPHA, and our media partner is the Business and Financial Times. My name is Kennedy Mona. We are going for a quick break. When we return, we'll continue the show. Please stay with us.
Good energy brings you quality choices with Goil Super XP. Available in many Goil stations nationwide. It is fortified with special additives that help your engine perform better and use less fuel. Branch into a Goil station today and energize your ride with Goil Super XP, compatible with most vehicles. Goil Super XP, Wufilia, huh? Wubefi. Goil, good energy. Ja, ya, dia.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Yeah. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
Business and life can be like the sea sometimes. Sometimes serene, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, and at times it brings the unexpected. However it is like, trust Phoenix Insurance for your home, car, business, and marine insurance needs. Call 0302-246-319 or 0243-690-492.
At Phoenix, you experience a delightful service delivered with wisdom.
You're welcome back. It's now time for us to take a look at happenings in the port and shipping industry. And during the week, the Minister for Transport, the Honorable Joseph Bukari Nimpe, paid a working visit to the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Indeed, that's one of the agencies under his ministry. Plus the fact that the Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority has called on government to, as a matter of urgency, take a look at the COVID levy and VAT on transit trade. Let's take a look at these stories and more.
The Ghana Investment Promotion Center, GIPC, and the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, IEAG, have pledged to work together to enhance investor confidence and attract more foreign investments into the country. This commitment was made during a courtesy call by the Executive Secretary of the IEAG, Samson Asaki Awengobit, and his team on the newly appointed CEO of the GIPC, Simon Maji. Samson Awengobit, accompanied by board executives, staff, and members of the association, assured the new CEO of their unwavering support in helping the GIPC achieve its mandate. He emphasized the need for a strong partnership between the GIPC and key stakeholders like the IEAG to advocate for policies that would create a more business-friendly environment and align with the government's vision of a 24-hour economy.
Presidents should appoint ambassadors who really go out, because you and I know that when we were in our various offices, we saw how embassies in Ghana here represent their countries, knock our doors, trying to get us, our people, to come and do business with them. Same thing when our ambassadors go out, it shouldn't be like my party's in power. They should go and sell Ghana and make sure that, and the cardinal point is there are great businesses that is added to the Ministry of Trade, so that we can add more value to our agro processing. The non-traditional community is the area that we can export more and can bring more proceeds back to support our economy. And I think that should be the drive.
On his part, Simon Maji welcomed the association's support and expressed appreciation for the confidence stakeholders have shown in his leadership. He stressed the importance of leveraging economic diplomacy as championed by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to attract more investors into the country.
We can begin to have closer relationship with governors, with mayors of cities that want to look at investing in Africa or investing in our country. Then they will be able to strike the partnerships which are very essential for us. And the foreign minister has said that his mantra is to focus on economic diplomacy. I just want to put it out there that we at the GIPC, we are ready to support that, helping our ambassadors to go with a mindset to attracting foreign direct investment into our country. So this is what we'll be doing over time.
He further revealed plans for a nationwide investments drive where regional ministers, metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives, as well as traditional and religious leaders, will present their investment portfolios. This initiative aims to strategically position Ghana's regions for targeted investor engagement. The meeting underscored the shared vision of both institutions in driving sustainable investment, improving trade facilitation, and strengthening Ghana's economy through strategic partnerships.
In a related development, the Minister for Transport, Joseph Bukari Bukwe, has pledged to facilitate the passage of an ally to help properly regulate the new Ghana Shippers Authority law passed last year, adding it will boost transparency whilst ensuring accountability. Mr. Bukari Bukwe brought this to light when he paid a working visit to the Ghana Shippers Authority earlier this week as part of his familiarization tour of the key stakeholders in the maritime, logistics and transport industry. The minister, acknowledging challenges faced by shippers, including higher charges at the port, assured his ministry will collaborate with the Shippers Authority and other stakeholders to work tirelessly to streamline charges and reduce cost of shipping.
We, as the ministry, will want to give you a firm assurance that we are going to be with you day and night to support you to implement the new act and also operationalize it. And I will be there to take it through parliamentary processes and get it operationalized for you. The president in the elections made a promise to reduce the cost of doing business in our seaports. And that has to do with a revision of the governing laws, the taxes, the duties, and the levies at the ports. And we would lead the cause of ensuring that whatever laws that are being used at our ports are reviewed such that to create the enabling environment for all those who are within our ports to effectively operate and freely do business.
As part of the plan, Mr. Bukari Bukwe tasked the Shippers Authority to lead the charge in achieving government's 24-hour economy agenda. The minister hinted his ministry is working hard to operationalize the Buankra Inland Terminal, which is about 90% complete.
It's almost 95% or so, or around 90% complete.
Phase 1.
With the phase 1. And you know, we don't have a railway line to the port. And there's no way you can have a container terminal that there's no railway. If we want to still go by cargo, you know our roads, the conditions of our roads. So double handling, you have to take from the seaport, load into a cargo truck, go offload, and then another cargo truck is standing there. They feel there are a lot of conflicting activities. We feel that we will have to see as to how to improve access to the terminal, and also getting the last phase to be completed, and work will resume at that port.
The Chief Executive Officer of the Shippers Authority, Professor Ransford Jampo, pledged the authority's commitment to creating a fair playing field for all stakeholders whilst promoting international trade.
The main thrust of our new legislation is to address the key challenges impeding trade and address all the issues to decrease the cost of doing business in Ghana. The objective, in the view of the framers of the new law, is to create a viable commercial shipping environment that facilitates international trade and ensure fairness, efficiency, and competitiveness for players in the commercial shipping industry. So we are preparing our LI that would operationalize the implementation of our act, and we would implement the act in such a way that it protects the interests of all and protects the interests of Ghanaians.
The Minister for Transport, Joseph Bukari Bukwe, urged directors and staff of the Shippers Authority to accord the new CEO the needed support to excel.
The Acting Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Brigadier General Paul Seydou Tanya Kulono, has urged the government to remove VAT on transit cargo and the COVID-19 levy, citing their negative impact on Ghana's competitiveness as a regional transit hub. He stressed that the removal of VAT on transit cargo would enhance Ghana's attractiveness as a preferred trade corridor within the sub-region, helping to retain and attract transit business in an increasingly competitive environment. The GPHA boss made this appeal during a familiarization visit by the Minister for Transport, Joseph Bukari Nikpe, to the port of Tema, where the minister engaged key stakeholders including GPHA, Meridian Port Services Limited, and the Tema shipyard.
Transit market is highly competitive, and any disruption can lead customers turning to our partners and our rivals, that is, rivals in quote, Lome and Abidjan. We believe, or we have the firm belief, that since the cargo is not destined for Ghana, it will be beneficial if the government could reconsider its decision by removing the VAT levies in order to encourage business and generate additional employment opportunities.
Accompanied by a delegation from the ministry, the visit forms part of a broader tour of agencies under his oversight aimed at strengthening collaboration and deepening his understanding of port operations. At GPHA, the minister was welcomed by Brigadier General Tanya Kulono and members of top management. During a presentation on the authority's core functions and operational outlook, the Acting Director General emphasized digitalization, organizational resilience, and fostering a corporate culture rooted in discipline, fairness, and teamwork.
Another issue has to do with the dredging of the port of Tema. Currently, I'm told that the depth is about 8 feet, and we have to dredge it to 12 minimum. Takoradi is about 16, if I'm right. So if not, we cannot get bigger ships to come and dock for us to get money and turn Tema as the container hub of Africa. But this dredging has delayed for the past 3 years, and I want to state that this year we have covered it in our budget, and hopefully, I'm sure we should be able to dredge it.
In response, Minister Joseph Boukari Nikpe reiterated that the government of President John Dramani Mahama is committed to revitalizing the economy, with the port and maritime sector identified as a key driver in this agenda.
When you talk of good governance, listening to service providers is one of the key areas you should look at. And so if we want to have a port that is of international standard, we have to begin to address some of the concerns our stakeholders begin to bring to our notice. We are all aware of the President's commitment in resetting this country, and it begins with us at the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, because we are the key to unlocking the economic difficulties that we are faced with.
He also expressed confidence in the leadership of the new Acting Director General, urging GPHA staff and management to support his vision in advancing the authority's strategic objectives.
Intentions, the plans, the new Director General has, and I want to say that he has my full support and that of the President. We took office the same day with a charge from the President that wherever we find ourselves, including all of us seated here, we brighten that corner so that Ghana will once again be put on the map of excellence.
As part of the visit, the minister also toured Meridian Port Services Terminal 3 and the Tema shipyard, where he engaged with management on port expansion efforts, operational efficiencies, and ongoing industry reforms aimed at strengthening Ghana's maritime sector.
Right, so those were happenings in the port and shipping industry during last week. Indeed, we're now going for the word or phrase of the day. And remember, the word or phrase of the day segment has been fashioned to bring you up to speed with the terminologies and jargons we use in the shipping industry. Today's word is WAF. WAF.
A wharf is a continuous structure built parallel to the margin of the sea or alongside riverbanks, canals, or waterways where vessels may lie alongside to receive or discharge cargo, embark or disembark passengers, or lie at rest.
Now on to our health and safety tip for the week, and tonight we're talking about eating healthy snacks. How to eat healthy snacks.
Healthy snacks. Having a healthy snacks on hand is great for eating better too. You can grab a handful of nuts or something else that's easily accessible instead of letting your cravings build up. Fueling your body throughout the day is a great way to maintain energy levels and avoid any type of afternoon crash. Swap out chips for grapes or keep a giant bag of almonds in your truck for a quick and healthy snack. Workers are encouraged to replace the lunchtime soda with water. Make sure to include veggies like baby carrots, cucumber, broccoli, or celery with each meal.
All right, so welcome back. We are zooming into our discussion proper tonight, and tonight we're taking a look at Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. Their withdrawal from ECOWAS, implications for transit trade. Ghana depends heavily on transit trade from these three Sahelian countries. Plus, we'll also take a look at calls for the removal of the VAT, and that's value-added tax, as well as the COVID levy on transit trade in our country. And so you would have heard a couple of months ago that Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have decided to part ways with ECOWAS, the regional body. And we also picked information which was confirmed that ECOWAS had accepted, the decision of these three countries to secede, to move out of the regional bloc. And so we want to find out what the implications are for transit trade in our country, and also to explore calls for the removal of these taxes to enhance our competitiveness as far as transit trade is concerned. So it gives me pleasure this evening to introduce to us Dr. Adam Bona. Dr. Bona is the new, fresh, as it were, acting executive secretary of the Small Arms and Light Weapons Commission in our mother Ghana. Good evening, sir, and welcome, Doc.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Same to you.
This is not your first time in the show, so yes, you are a friend of the show, absolutely. Thank you very much indeed, sir. Also in the studios with us, viewers, is Mr. Dodi Sedu. He is the Chief Executive Officer of Africa Trade Academy. Yes, thank you, absolutely. You also know stranger to the show, so you're also a friend to the show. And also with us in the studios is Monsieur Sharif Wadriago, who is the representative of Burkina Faso Chamber of Commerce and Industry here in Ghana. Monsieur, good evening, sir, and welcome. Okay, yeah, sure, that's it. Bonsoir. Yeah, so let me begin with Dr. Adam Bona, and if you can give us a bit of a historical antecedent about what actually prompted the three, countries to opt out of ECOWAS.
Well, yes, thank you very much, and good evening. Yeah, good evening to my colleagues who are watching at the Small Arms Commission.
Absolutely.
They are glued, they are watching.
Okay.
My management and team, they are watching from all over the country.
Have you started work yet?
Oh, yes. Last week was my first week.
Okay.
I took over on Monday.
Right.
And, fortunately, on my part, the next day, my minister, the Honorable Minister of the Interior, Honorable Muntaka, visited us.
Yeah.
He's going on tour to visit the agencies. There are several agencies
under his ministry,
under him, and we are one of the agencies, fortunately,
right,
to be under him. So he visited us on Tuesday to have a first-hand information about what the issues are and to see how he can help us to address them.
Right.
And so let me use the occasion to also probably thank the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and the Vice President, and then Callistus, and Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Debra. Yes, I think they are doing a good job.
Absolutely.
And for all my, those are my colleagues all over the country and partners. We have several partners. The Small Arms Commission is fortunate to have a lot of goodwill from the UNDP. You can mention them from all over the world. ECOWAS, you can talk about AU, the European Union. They are all, our partners, giving us, financial support, giving us other resource, training, and the rest. And to add that we are one of the only institutions that is specialized in tracing weapons in the country. So let's say you have a firearm, we should be able to tell you the source
of that firearm.
So these are things that a lot of people didn't know we do.
Right.
But so the President, fortunately sending me there, is to ensure that these things are done. We are waiting. One of the promises the Honorable Minister, made to us. And I have been with the Commission. A lot of people don't know. I've been with the Commission in and out, probably for about 10 years.
Okay.
In and out, from the CSO front and from the business, perspective. And I served on the Commission, the last board, on behalf of civil society.
Yes.
So it's not a place that one will say it's new to me, but I'm learning.
Okay.
Because I don't assume I know everything. So I'm asking for now.
Absolutely.
I'm just listening to my colleagues and partners and trying to understand. And it's my first thing, to do with public life.
Right.
And, from the private sector, you go into
public life,
and you ask yourself, Charlie,
things
you want things done today.
Yeah, sure.
And they say, no, you must go through A, B, C, D,
yeah, sure. That's true.
To get them done. So what I can say is that the three countries are so important to us.
Absolutely.
The historical antecedent had to do with the previous government, His Excellency, led by His Excellency Nana-Addo, antagonized them.
Is that really so?
Yes. If you look at Burkina Faso, you remember the comment about the Wagner Group in Burkina Faso.
Yes.
I mean, in diplomacy, international diplomacy, you don't do that. These are, you don't go out, even assuming without admitting that it is true, you don't go out to talk about things that are happening in your home that you have failed to deal with. You don't talk about them to international partners. And I believe that it was done that way probably because of the what do you call that? I mean, trying to get some help. You get it. And so for me, all that, and you remember the Niger invasion that some of us, I mean, I had to go to the former CDS, the former, I mean, he left before his CDS. I visited him a couple of times, at least once or twice, and had a conversation. Can you tell His Excellency the President and the Defense Minister and the security team that you cannot go and invade Niger? Look at how vast Niger is.
Yes.
How do you want to destroy the whole of West Africa? And you know, the unfortunate thing is the meeting was held in Ghana. The meeting to invade Niger was held in Ghana. So you had all the CDSs meeting here at Tema camp some time ago to decide whether to invade. Do you go to your neighbors to invade them because probably you don't understand what is going on there? And then you take Mali. You know, so these things didn't help the regional grouping,
right,
or the sub-regional grouping. So they are bitter. They are not happy. They feel that this is the time we should have supported them. They have issues to do with terrorism, because once, may his soul rest in peace, Muammar Gaddafi got terminated. We sat down as Africans, and Muammar Gaddafi he was killed. And that channel opened for, you know, terrorists to come through to our neighbors in the Sahelian countries. What did we do? We didn't do much. So if you ask me from the government point of view, I will tell you that you noticed the goodwill during the inauguration of His Excellency the President of the Republic, John Dramani Mahama. You had all this. Show me one person who didn't come. They were all here. And in fact, at a point, it was difficult for some of them to even get places for, you know, facilities to accommodate them. Everywhere was booked. It's never happened since 1992. And it's happened at a time when the sub-region is in turmoil, right? And all these people came because they saw a new sense of relief, that you will have a leadership change, and probably this is the time to bring back the spirit of ECOWAS. I mean, if you, for some of us, I mean, even people from the south, some of them are connected directly to Burkina Faso and the rest. If you go up north, it's even worse. It's worse because you have, it's just some artificial, you know, line that is dividing these countries. So you don't go say, let's go and attack these people and badmouth them. So they felt we weren't helping them. And that comment, when the former president visited the US and said Burkina Faso was, hosting Wagner, and some of us felt, no, you don't, where's the evidence?
Yeah, that's true.
You don't have evidence. The general rule is bring me the evidence. Even if you have it, have you attempted to deal with it? So for me, that is what culminated, and I hope, because then for me, if you ask me, I would say we need, from the government point of view, we need, what do you call it, and from the small arms point of view, we need these groups to come back. Because we have treaties. I mean, now I'm in charge of the Small Arms Commission as acting executive secretary. And we are supposed to help with, you know, all these firearms, light weapons and all that. We are supposed to know if, let's say, Burkina Faso is importing weapons into the region. We are supposed to know why would you need a certain number and a certain grade of weapons. But as it is now, they pulled out of the block. Technically, they pulled out. And so it's something that I know His Excellency the President of the Republic, John Dramani Mahama, is working on together with other sub-regional heads and, you know, within AU to bring them back. You asked about, you know, its impact when you look at your question. Its impact has economically, security, in all aspects. You know, if Burkina Faso is on fire, trust me, Ghana is on fire. If Niger is on fire, Ghana is on fire. If Mali is on fire, Ghana is on fire, because we have people who have trucks that load things from Ghana into Mali, into Niger, into Burkina Faso, and all of these Sahelian countries. Without them, these are people wouldn't be able to feed their families. You know the implications, security. So we should be transparent and help And I'm happy, my brother, my colleague, the new DG for, the acting DG for Tema Port, General
GPHA,
Tanya, he's speaking about, removing the COVID levy and VAT. You see, let's do things that will help us. So for me, I think that a lot is going to happen, and I've told my team that I'm not there to be docile.
Yes.
The president and, the appointors, those who are expecting some of us not to get there and be docile, but to ensure that things are done. So I'm believing that probably in the shortest possible time, we are going to have the new bill. We have a bill that is supposed to, the old bill is several decades old, where we have a new bill, and I was part of the drafting of the bill.
Yes.
Once it is passed by Parliament and assented to by the President, which he mentioned about control of firearms.
Yes.
He's been briefed on all these things. So once we become a regulator, I believe that the number of weapons in the hands of hoodlums and all these people, we would help to retrieve them. And even though it's yet to be passed, one of our mandates to also help in retrieving and tracing these weapons, which we are working on. So to answer you directly, this is what happened.
Absolutely, right. Thank you very much indeed. Let me come to Mr. Seidu and find out from you, straight with my question, what the implications are, you think, would be.
You don't expect me to add to what he said.
Please, I mean, you're at liberty.
Yes, so just to add to what he said. So, starting from 2020, we started experiencing some coup d'etats in the Sahel region.
Yes.
It started with Mali, and then in 2021, Guinea followed.
Yes.
And then 2022, we had Burkina Faso, and then finally in 2023, there was Niger.
Yeah.
Now, by the time the Niger coup took place, of course, the previous methodology or approach that ECOWAS uses was to put sanctions. And those were often suspensions from the ECOWAS bloc.
Absolutely.
Now, by the third or the fourth coup, the response was to initiate what Dr. Bonar said, the military intervention.
Yes.
And of course, there were other underlying factors in country.
Right.
And these countries, the Sahel countries, didn't feel that ECOWAS as a bloc was interpreting their needs and demands well.
Right.
Especially the factors to do with the influence of the Western countries, including France, the issue about how their natural resources, especially those minerals, are being extracted and treated. And of course, even the role of the so-called legitimate regimes, the publicly elected regimes, how they were handling things. So, of course, when the ECOWAS threatened the intervention, then these countries thought that, well, they are better off, first of all, standing together and hiving off from ECOWAS. I hold two views. If they belong to ECOWAS, they have to satisfy ECOWAS requirements. So for them to maintain the status that they have now, where they are led by military junta, they are not interested in transitional arrangements proposed by ECOWAS, then in one way or the other, either they are outside of the region by being suspended or forming the alliance. So that is one of them. Of course, you also see the way ECOWAS in itself did not handle the process well. There was a release by I forgot his military title, but Gowon, who was one of the initial...
I think he's also a general.
General Gowon, yes, initial founders of ECOWAS, who really felt that the drastic position of ECOWAS was not a good one, and that they should open up for mediation. But by the time we went back for mediation, it was too late. And therefore, this is where we are. I think that as we speak, the implications are a number of them. Number one, these countries constitute about 17% of our population as a region, or 18% of our region. In terms of GDP, it's not so significant, but it's still a part of it. Don't forget that in 2000, we also lost Mauritania. Mauritania was part of this region. And so gradually, in terms of image, ECOWAS as a bloc is losing its position as a formidable region. Whilst other regions or regional blocs are growing in number, EAC grew to add DRC, I've added Somalia and Sudan, but rather ECOWAS we are losing. So it's giving us a very bad image in terms of consolidating our regional status.
Yes.
ECOWAS is one of the recognized regional blocks of the African Union, on which some other aspects like the AFCFTA is being developed on.
Right.
So if you look at it from that perspective, it's like we are weakening whilst we are standing. So that is one implication. The second implication, of course, is the fact that it's becoming more fragmented.
Yes.
The AES, the Sahel Region Alliance, has not evolved into a full block as it is.
Right.
But as it is going to be very difficult to see where we stand. Now, the alliance announced their exit in January this year. And ECOWAS has given them a 6 months extension up to July, hoping for a diplomatic solution that somehow they will come back. I think that as long as the military authorities are in charge, I don't foresee them coming back into the bloc. However, if they're able to transition maybe into some kind of democratic rule, I see that maybe they'll be opening for that. It's going to have impact on trade because as we speak now, yes, according to ECOWAS, because ECOWAS is the bloc they are exiting from. The alliance effectively exited the day they announced.
Right.
But ECOWAS has still maintained open doors.
Right.
I want to read, if it's okay with you,
yes, please.
A press release that was issued the very day that the alliance announced its exit.
Right.
And they indicated that, if you know, I read the withdrawal of this is dated just a second, 29th January 2025, which is the day that the alliance is. The withdrawal of of Burkina, Mali, and Niger from ECOWAS has become effective today. That's the 29th January.
Yes.
However, in the spirit of regional solidarity and the interest of people, as well as the decision of the ECOWAS authority to keep ECOWAS doors open.
Yes.
So right now, it's like the power has shifted.
Right.
We were the ones who wanted them out. But now we are the ones who are keeping the door open, that they will come back. So the key things are that we're going to recognize their national passports, as long as they bear the ECOWAS logos. So all the ID cards, the national ID cards that we did, they also did. So they will maintain that. We're going to continue to treat their goods under the ETLS.
Right.
We're going to continue to allow them to enjoy free movement of people as it pertains up to 90 days of residency.
Right.
And we're going to provide all the full support and cooperation. So in one breath, ECOWAS is willing. We also see that, especially at the technical level, not the political level, at the operational level, if you interact with a lot of Nigerians, Burkinabés, you see the willingness to still be part of the community and benefit from all the things that we benefit. However, from the political level, you see that there is no interest in continuing to be part of that. So I think that it has these implications. Now, if you belong to an economic bloc, one of the benefits there is the reduced cost of transaction, even for your members. Now, assuming the AES becomes a full block and they have to interact with, let's say, ECOWAS, there's going to mean 2 commissions. Don't forget, already in ECOWAS, we have a sister organization, regional body, called the UEMOA, which is more integrated. It has a monetary arrangement with the CFA franc. It has other institutions that are working effectively. And in that regard, we are very harmonized. We work well. So now if we add the AES, that's going to be a third one. Don't forget, even when it comes to financial transactions between CFA franc and, let's say, Ghana Cedi or any other West African monetary zone, it can be a very expensive aspect. You don't just easily transfer funds from working with a business partner who is transferring funds to Ghana from one of these CFA countries. It had to cost about 20% of the value of the transaction. So these are some of the implications that it has. And much as we wish that it wouldn't happen or wouldn't continue, we are not sure how it will go. Whether in the short term these people will come back. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a bloc, because they chose to also be a bloc. Number one, in sight of their common predicament. The first predicament was the terrorism they faced. The second predicament was how they were being treated by ECOWAS. And the third predicament was that if they don't stand together, then they're going to be, so then they had to unite and kind of face the region. So that would be my submission on how the implications will be for the region.
Thank you very much indeed. Let me come to Monsieur Ouedraogo and find out from you. You have been in Ghana for a very long time, for as long as I can recall. And you've done this business, as far as this transit business for a very long time, because that's the reason why you're in Ghana, to champion the cause of the Burkina Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So tell us, now that the 3 countries have decided to go, including your country, what do you think the implications would be for the transit trade, even though you still continue to use our ports?
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to know that African and particularly Ghanaian understand the vision of countries, Mali, Burkina, and Niger, and especially the vision of the President Withdrawal, to be total sovereign. Our space, we have a very rich resources, and as he said, the European countries come and just remove our resources and go to develop Europe. ECOWAS is a population association. Yeah. It's not for the president. Yeah. Is to take initiative about the projects, about raise economic for the sub-regional region, who can be benefit for the population. So I think there is no impact, but the countries should be continue to trade together. We have a very good bilateral collaboration with many countries, essentially with Ghana, and I'm very proud. I welcome the vision of the President Mahama to support our Sahel region, Burkina Faso especially, to raise economy and for the benefits of population.
Let me come to Mr. and find out from you, because we know that these 3 countries are heavily reliant on Ghana exports. And so what do you expect with the 10 of things or events? Do you expect things to continue to be the same way, or there will be a slight shift, or there will be a decrease or a decline as it were in their traffic, passing through our ports?
Okay, so the fact is that as for the association or the being associated with ECOWAS or being associated with AES or UEMOA is something that countries can choose. Yes. Countries can choose to belong to any group of countries based on the benefits they would draw. I think before we came on air, we were talking about a country like Switzerland. Yes. Switzerland is in Europe, but Switzerland is not a member of the EU. Yeah. Now, they made that decision based on a number of factors. Right. Because joining certain associations can mean surrendering certain solidarities or certain benefits that you want. But coming to your question, and the reason why I cited is that these countries are not moving away geographically. Yeah. So in terms of geography, they are still land linked. They don't have seaports. They don't have access to the coastal regions except through, in the case of these 3 countries, Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Togo, Benin, and even Dakar. If you want to go to Niger, you can use Dakar through Senegal. So the geographic location is still what it is. However, what it means is that there still needs to be some kind of relationship. They need to have a trade relationship. Right. And both of us need to still respect international conventions on transit of goods. Not forgetting that Ghana has already selected somebody to conduct diplomatic relations on behalf of Ghana with the 3 countries. I forget the titles again, but Bevlo Latte has been Ambassador Envoy. Yes, it's now the liaison between us. So it looks like, as Bona said, the doors are still open, even from Ghana's perspective. Now, I don't expect it to have any significant impact on transit trade or trade in general. Right. What, if anything, will affect trade? It is the practicalities of trade. It is the cost of doing business. It is the rules and regulations that we all implement. It is the cooperation, the not political issues that will affect the trade. Right. For example, we need to cooperate on transit data exchange.
Right.
Under ECOWAS,
Yes.
called the SIGMAT,
Yes.
the System for Interconnectivity on Transit Trade. If that can still be done under the AES and ECOWAS between Ghana and Burkina and those other countries, it should still be fine.
Right.
But of course, we expect some effect in terms of cost of doing business. If, for example, the AES will come up with their own trading rules, which are different from what ECOWAS has, then some of those things will affect that.
Right.
I also think that another subtle effect could be the security situation.
Right.
If based on because one of the key objectives of the AES, the Alliance of Sahel's countries, is on security cooperation, solidarity. So if they can cooperate better and improve security situation in those three countries, then it should provide safe passage, right? Goods can transit easily through the border to Niger or through Pagadakola to Ouagadougou and things like that. So in terms of that, I don't expect any impact on transit trade.
Right. Dr. Bona, do you foresee any specific challenges in terms of our continued, relationship with the transit trade that we do together?
Well, I must be honest with you. What I foresee is largely improved relationship. An improved relationship on our part will definitely translate into, improved, transit trade.
Right.
Because then we got to a point where these Sahelian countries were so, discomforted and dissatisfied with our attitude towards them. So from the side of government, if you ask me, I would say that they are now a bit more sober.
Right.
In terms of the Sahelian countries, and are ready to come back to the drawing board to see how we can collaborate and cooperate with regards to transit trade. Because then why a lot of the activities started now moving from our port to neighboring Togo.
Yes.
If you take the size of Togo, the size is almost like this. I mean, Accra, I think, is a bit bigger than the size of Togo. And so, and you can just imagine Togo taking business from us. They are neighbors. But it means that a lot of things went down. And so, in terms of security, it went so low.
Right.
And we needed to keep it hanging. The Tuareg and his people came here to solidarize with us, to be with us during the inauguration.
Yes.
Came with a large contingent.
That's right,
And before then, there were, after His Excellency won the election, a lot of movements happened to get these people, and they were happy to come.
Right.
And so our doors are open. Their doors, now their doors are open. In the past, their doors were almost shut. In the past, avenue for negotiation and dialogue were shut because they saw us to be traitors. Because then, if you have your next door neighbor's house is on fire, you don't help him to quench the fire. Terrorists were running them. I visited Burkina Faso from the Hamili side.
Right.
And I interacted with the Burkina. I visited some of the border before the elections. And I would go onto their side to get to know firsthand what the challenges are. And they are very apprehensive. They tell you that you are there, probably at a border, at a certain point, and terrorists will just surround you and start shooting.
Wow.
And our side, Ghana, from our side, I interacted with some of our officers, and they will tell you that they are powerless. So you will see people being shot on the side of Burkina. You can't do anything. So when you see another human being being killed on a land you think, or to you, it's a foreign land, and you can't help them, the least you can do is to be quiet, isn't it? How you don't go bad-mouthing them. So they felt that sense of betrayal on the part of probably one of their best neighbors.
Right.
And so for me, I would say that the doors of Ghana is open now, is now opened.
Yes.
And their doors now open for us.
Right.
And so behind the scene, a lot of things are going on, I can't say.
Absolutely.
Listen, it got so bad, so much so that I don't know whether you've heard of the Accra Initiative. I won't go into it.
Right.
But a lot has happened over a certain period before the elections.
Right.
And so for me, it's not going to be a walk in the path.
Right.
Transit trade, I mean, I would probably say, not entirely disagree with him, but to say that government is doing so much to ensure that you heard what the acting DG of Ghana GPHA said. I mean, he said he wants to see VAT. Brigadier General Tanya said, I want to see VAT taken off.
Yes.
I want to see COVID levy taken off. If these taxes are taken off, we are going to have the trailers.
Yeah.
And some of us, I mean, behind the scene, the ECOWAS rail line.
Yes.
Because there's no way you are going to say you are going to dredge the sea. Like Nana Kwame Bediako said you do to Kumasi, to Burkina Faso.
Right.
It's not possible, feasible. It's just not possible to do that.
Yeah.
So we must have ECOWAS rail lines, which is some of the things that are ongoing. If these things are done, I should be able to go to Ouagadougou and have lunch, and come back and sleep on my bed. Then you say we have arrived. But when the BAF muffin has gone on for a very long time, it becomes, in diplomacy, it becomes difficult. But for me, he mentioned, if they continue to wear uniform. Yes, it's true. The ECOWAS convention says you can, laws are not static. Right? Laws are not static. We can always look at them and do some tweaking. That is not to say we support, soldiers or security people who are not happy to take up arms and take over government or democratically elected government. When we know that within us, some people, among the bloc, some people did their own things and amended the laws and now have, continuous, can go on continuous, you will call it, what do you call democratic coups they have undertaken. And so mine is that, my brother, we need to accept the fact that the status quo cannot remain. The status quo has been broken. Now the Sahelian countries, if you ask me, are wise. Francophone countries, most of the Sahelian countries are, almost all of them are Francophone. We are Anglophone.
Yes.
We need to collaborate with them. That status quo is broken, and some of us want to see, you can see now, they said even ban on the export of grains from
cereals,
Burkina Faso to Ghana. Yes, because they want to, within the country, they want to build. So how do we collaborate with them to ensure that probably they just don't stop grains from coming in, but we can support one another. Ghana has always been a friend to Burkina Faso. So for me, I would answer you by saying that I disagree if he says once they remain there, we can work with them and help them in any way. In any case, you know where we came from, 1992. Before 92, who were we? But it took a certain, leadership to say, okay, let's go back. But I think that with the experience we have, we can help them to say, let's get it done that way. But if you are not careful and we want to hurry them to do it, are we going to also go in there and fight the terrorists who are killing, in numbers in this country? No. And we know the connection to some of the so-called superpowers who came in to help, and some of them rather were selling weapons and taking. You go to Niger, the whole of Niger doesn't have power, yet you have, what do you call it? There are resources being used to power some of these people who had come in to support them. So for me, I will tell you that no, there's going to be improved trade. Yes, costs. Once cost comes down, if you did a bit of economics, once costs come down, reasonably, we are going to have them come down. But also the friendship. The friendship
it's also key.
It's okay. And
All
some
right,
of us want to see,
yeah.
so we are going to see it in no time.
All right.
Yes.
So you also agree that, yeah, it's, there's not going to be a negative impact as far as
No.
transit trade is concerned. All right. So this is our report here on Metro TV, and tonight we are taking a look at the implications of the exit of Mali, Burkina, and Niger from ECOWAS, and we're also examining calls for the removal of VAT and COVID levy as far as transit trade is concerned. With us in the studio is Dr. Adam Bona, who is the acting executive secretary of the Small Arms and Light Weapons Commission here in Ghana. Mr. Dodi Seydou is the CEO of Africa Trade Academy, and indeed we also have Mr. Sharif Wadrago, who is the Burkina Faso representative, Burkina Faso Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Ghana. He's also in the studios with us. And so we're going to go for a break. When we come, we spoke to a consignee when the GPHA DG made a call to the minister to take the matter up and ensure the removal of the COVID levy and then the VAT. We'll play that video and then we'll zoom into that part of the discussion for tonight. Please stay with us.
Good energy brings you quality choices with Goil Super XP. Available in many Goil stations nationwide. It is fortified with special additives that help your engine perform better and use less fuel. Branch into a Goil station today and energize your ride with Goil Super XP, compatible with most vehicles. Goil Super XP will feel ya, huh? Will be feel. Goil, good energy. Ja, ya, ya.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
Business and life can be like the sea sometimes. Sometimes serene, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, and at times it brings the unexpected. However it is like, trust Phoenix Insurance for your home, car, business, and marine insurance needs. Call 0302-246-319 or 0243-690-492.
At Phoenix, you experience a delightful service delivered with wisdom.
Yeah, welcome back. We will now go for that video I talked about. We spoke to a consignee when the Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Brigadier General Paul Seydou Tanyakunlono, made that call to the Minister for Transport, who paid a working visit to the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority last week, impressing upon him to lead the charge so that we can have the COVID levy and then the VAT removed from transit trade. Let's go for that video and then we'll be back shortly.
Meanwhile, the Transit Representative Union has reinforced calls for the removal of value-added tax and COVID-19 levy on transit cargo, arguing that the charges undermine Ghana's competitiveness as a leading transit hub in the sub-region. Speaking to Eye on Port following the Minister for Transport's visit to the port of Tema, the chairman of the union, Issa Mohammed, emphasized that scrapping these taxes would significantly boost the transit trade through Ghana's ports.
First, the tax. We requested the tax issue long time, but we didn't hear any good answer. And the COVID go long time, but we are still paying the COVID tax on our transit document. And other thing, the levy. All is new thing from the COVID time where this thing all come, they didn't go back again. So now we need the new government. Our Minister of Transport and the Finance Minister include the new DG of Ports to do something for we clearing agent to let you promote Ghana Port every day. We know if the only Ghana Port will get our food.
He noted that similar charges are not imposed in neighboring ports, putting Ghana at a disadvantage compared to competing trade corridors in the region.
3 days today are from Africa, and we'll have our people for Lomé, Cotonou, Senegal, Côte d'Ivoire, Guinea, and même Mauritania. And then we know say this thing, COVID charge and the tax on transit goods, that's why we have difference of our charge to other countries. Only when they promote the port, still our clients they are coming. If you know that, they will always see difference is too much to convince our client to come to Ghana.
Issa Mohammed, a clearing agent by profession, also expressed confidence in the new government and the leadership of the new GPHA Director General, believing they will take the necessary steps to revitalize the transit trade. He highlighted that Ghana already has a robust port infrastructure and secure corridors, which should be fully leveraged to position the country as the preferred transit hub.
If they come out the VAT, the levy, and the COVID charge, we know most of our clients, they go run come to Ghana because they always believe Ghana port gets security. Yeah. And if we watch the distance, from here to Bamako is 1,740 kilometers. From here to Ouagadougou, almost 1,000 kilometers. And from here to Niamey, 1,300 kilometers. The distance is too much. And the Mali to Mauritania, past 500, to Côte d'Ivoire, 1,000, to Senegal, 900 or 800. But they choose Ghana, 1,700 kilometers, almost the double to come and work because of the security for the ports. So we want the Ghana government, the new government, to try to understand, say we are still here, we want to benefit something good to call our clients.
All right, so Issa Mohammed is the chairman of the Transit Representatives Union. He gave some very, very good statistics there, told us how far it is from these countries to Ghana and how close they are to other competing ports, but why they choose Ghana. And the advantage we have, he indicates, is the security of our corridor, of our ports, and that's why they continue to use it. And so I think it's a good call, he said, for the COVID levy and the VAT to be removed on transit trade. So let me come to Mr. Wadrago and find out from you what you make of this call for the removal of VAT and COVID levy on transit trade.
Thank you so much. Let me say that Burkina Faso Chamber of Commerce is an institution who coordinates private sector.
Right.
And here in Ghana, we have built relationship with Ghana institution,
right,
to make sure that transit trade between Ghana and Burkina Faso is very efficient. So, port, competitiveness of port based on 3 indicators.
Yes.
Security, cost, apply, and free transaction along the corridor. So, Ghana port is more expensive than other ports.
Right.
Countries, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, as a landlord country, and we can choose Lomé port, Côte d'Ivoire port, and Benin port, Dakar as well. But even though we have a currency barrier and language barrier, we did around 1 million metric tons.
Right.
Goods from Tema port to Burkina Faso. That means that we have a good relationship and the trade is going well. But when we see the VAT, I had the honor to be received by the Acting Director General of Ports, who shared to me the vision for the Authority of Ghana to remove VAT and COVID. VAT, putting VAT in the transit goods is not in accordance with the rules of international trade.
Right.
And you see, COVID as well is beyond us since many years, and we still put COVID in the transit system.
Right.
I think is a justice done for our countries, and remove these taxes can increase the volume.
Absolutely.
Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger goods volume.
Right.
So I can tell that Port Authority has all support of Burkina Faso to make sure that our importers, our private sector, come back to the Ghana port, and this one is a justice done for us.
Right. Okay. So, Mr. Sedu, let's find out from you the removal of VAT and, as it were, COVID levy from transit trade. What do you make of Paul's for that to happen? He says it's justice done to their countries. It's something that they welcome and they embrace, and they hope that it will come to fruition and to see the light of day pretty shortly.
Yeah, I think generally, just to say that we have become quite dependent on a lot of port revenue. And it's okay as long as it is justifiable. For example, we have the duties to be paid.
Right.
And then about 14 other duty taxes, levies, and charges on every single import. And the VAT alone is 17.5%.
Right.
If you add the cost. So whatever the cost of the item is, you already have certain, so much being levied.
Okay. All right. So please hold your fire. When we return, we'll have to go onto the phone lines. The production team says we can activate the phone lines 0245-834980. And I understand we have from East Legon, Henry, calling into the show. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm terrific, by His grace. Yourself?
Good, great.
Please follow.
I'm really enjoying what you are discussing, especially on two issues. The demurrages at the port, of which the containers are sold if the person is not able to clear it on time. By the time the person gathers some money, funding, it's already been sold to those gangs at the presidency or whoever. I don't want to call names.
Yeah.
But that's a very bad behavior. Extremely bad behavior.
Right. Okay, you said you have two issues. That's
not
one.
good at all. It doesn't augur well at all for us. Secondly, on the Burkina Faso issue, with all those VAT issues, since they are an inland this thing, I think we really have to consider some of the taxes being imposed on them.
Yeah.
It's making us lose business. That's
Right.
what we have to look at. The volume they've been bringing, it's a lot. And then what happens is we lose business to the nearby countries. We're losing a lot.
Right. Thank you very much indeed, Henry from East Legon. We're grateful to you. You can also call. That's the number right on your screen, 0245834980. Mr. Sedu, please.
Yeah. So I was
Yes,
making the point about the general cost of doing business at the port.
Yes.
And that it is in our interest, if we want to be competitive as a port, to look at reducing the cost. So not just the COVID levy
and VAT.
and the VAT, but to rationalize it,
Right.
to look at on the base on which we charge it, to look at how we charge it, and how even for what the gentleman called about the demurrage.
Yes.
Because there are certain trade facilitation effect tools that you can use. But if, for
Right.
example, the value is changing or is going up and down in between when you initiate a process until when you pay, then certainly by the time you find the money to come and pay, demurrage may have come in. So I want us to look at that. But certainly on VAT, on transit services, the rule is that once VAT is levied on, it's a consumption tax.
Yes.
And it's a tax on goods and services consumed in a jurisdiction.
Yeah.
So once the service is not consumed in the jurisdiction, then it should not attract the VAT.
Absolutely.
So I am for it. I think that it is not really something that will break our resources. We should be able to look at it and actually exempt it. Of course, I've sat in meetings where I've heard other arguments like, okay, you are transporting the goods from here to Burkina.
Yes.
So the transportation service is within Ghana.
Yes.
So I must charge the VAT on it. But the rule is that even the transportation is destined
For that
country.
Yeah,
so
sure.
then don't put a levy on it.
Yeah.
And like we're saying, it's not so huge. So we can rather focus on other sources of revenue and not create an environment that is difficult to maintain in terms of competition.
Especially when we can't justify that other
Exactly.
countries within the sub-region are doing that.
Exactly.
Right. Okay, so I understand we have Ama on the line. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Yeah. I'm enjoying your program. And
thank you, sir.
In fact, it's very educative.
Thank you, sir.
My worry now is about the port. Look at bringing a vehicle to the country and look at the charges on it. Let's take, for example, Toyota Vitz. 3-4 years ago, in the market, if you get at least 45,000, 40,000, you can get it. Now you have to get over 100,000. Where are we going? The duties on the vehicles are so much that people cannot even import vehicles to their countries anymore. So, in fact, the new government have to look into it and what it will do to reduce the taxes on the vehicles so that they can bring in. We have a lot of young men who are driving Uber and all those things. If they reduce the taxes on the vehicle will come more, the young ones will get a driving job to do, and it will reduce the burden on the government to employ people into the government agencies.
Right.
That is very, very worried. So they have to look at that one too. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, Adama from Choco. We're grateful to you. I think that we can manage another call if you want to dial. The number is 0245-834980, and you contribute to the discussion. We can only manage one call because we are pressed for time at the moment. Dr. Bona.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So before I should have congratulated the acting NADMO Director General, Dr. Retired Kuyong.
Okay.
He was appointed and he took over last week.
Right.
Yes. So we are expecting. I'm told there is some ongoing devastation in the Volta region.
Right.
The sea defense thing, they need to work on it. Yes, I think that the two callers raise issues about what do you call it? Demurrage.
Yes.
Now, when you import one vehicle into the country, you know, I mean, it started some time ago. You look at the tax, the element.
Yes.
So many. And he mentioned, he mentioned, what do you call it, Uber. So when you look at it, you want me to hold on?
Yes,
That's
please. Fine. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I understand we have Abel on the line. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Awesome. Please shoot.
This is Abel from Bolga.
From Bolga?
Bongo, yes.
Oh, Bongo?
Yes.
Have you eaten the dog head today?
No. I'm here to get
All right. Okay, please go ahead.
They are serving it for dinner today.
The program is very good.
Thank you.
And, you know, removing VAT from the other things are very good. So it can help, especially when education sector.
Yes.
Anything coming from website or any place, the VAT always make us not to enjoy.
Right.
Especially these our workshops.
Right.
So it always let us not to have any concrete on that thing. So the workshop don't count as it expected.
Okay.
Because of the VAT.
All right. Okay.
The component is always great.
Abel, thank you very much indeed. Regards to the people in Bongo, we're grateful to you for your call tonight. I think that's the last caller we can pick tonight. We're grateful to you. Doc, please. We have barely 5 minutes to wrap up, so you have to be
I will be snappy. I think the callers have all, obviously, taxes should not be in a way that it will inconvenience people.
Yes.
But if you look at it, these are things that His Excellency the President, before he got elected, promised to look at. And so, obviously, it's part of the reset agenda to ensure that taxes are properly aligned and realigned, you know, but the issues of VAT, Honorable Atuforsen and the economic management team, because you are looking at the numbers, and remember we have also signed on to this IMF thing, and so you have to look at the figures and ensure that things are done to be in sync with, you know, revenue expectations.
Right.
I want to believe that the issues to do with demurrage, sometimes it's difficult to believe what goes on at the port. I don't believe in auctioning of people's wares in some of these locations. I mean, that's it's been with me for a long time. Sometimes people bring in things and the frustrations they go through. And so I'm expecting that, you know, as part of the reset, the president has promised, we are going to have it. It's promised. So the port, that is why you have a soldier man now manning, you know, a soldier, you are not supposed to sleep, right? So my brother, General Tanye, has that duty to ensure that once the 24-hour thing kicks in, he's going to ensure that this thing works well so that you won't have, you know, I tell you what, I believe that, not that I believe, these taxes are going to come down. And once they do, we are going to see freshly, you know, registered Uber vehicles.
Right.
But when you look at Uber's initially, or this, let me not say Uber, this electronic ride or what, this
EVs, electronic vehicles.
Yes. Once they kick in, and you also know the Okada thing. And so the 24-hour thing is coming in to ensure that all of us Ghanaians, we won't have the disparity where we didn't at a point we didn't have middle class anymore. It was those down there and the bourgeoisie at the top. Now we are the president has promised to have a middle class to go up. I'd also to add, I might not have the opportunity again. Say do here. It's my mate, people don't know.
I see.
We started the doctoral course together and he ran away and left us. Kofi Tanu said I should tell you to come and finish the course. He ran away. I did mine 5 years, but he ran away. He didn't come back.
You see,
so he needs to come back.
I'm sure he will come back. His hands are full at the moment.
So we are waiting for you.
His hands are full at the moment.
Part of the fees and run away. So go back and finish the course.
Yes, with respect to demurrage, I think that sometimes consignees and importers fail to take advantage of the pre-arrival processes that we have. You can begin the process of clearing your goods even before they arrive in the country. Exactly. I think that people are not taking advantage of that. That's one of the cardinal reasons why we have this thing going on in there, not because of any deliberate measure. Yes. So just 1 minute, and then.
Well, I want to say that ECOWAS has an opportunity to use what is happening with the Sahel countries to reevaluate itself.
Right.
as a community to look at where it has gone wrong. Don't forget, May this year will be 50 years of the establishment of ECOWAS. And it is a good time to evaluate where it has come from, where it wants to go. I think it should still keep the door open. I think our brothers in the Sahel region will still want to be part of ECOWAS, provided certain conditions are met. I'm also looking forward that we can really take advantage of some of the benefits of what is happening within the region in terms of still enhancing and continuing to be the gateway into West Africa. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much indeed. Your final word, just within 1 minute, sir.
No, what he said, I think this thing starts at the highest level.
Yes.
We can see that His Excellency, the President of Ghana, invests himself to have a good bilateral collaboration with those countries, to raise economic in the sub-region. So Ghana has to play the key role for what is mentioned.
Absolutely. Great. Thank you very much indeed, Monsieur Sharif Ouedraogo, the Burkina Faso Chamber of Commerce and Industry representative here in Ghana. We are grateful to you for obliging us. We called on you and then you agreed to come and share some perspectives with us. We are deeply grateful. We know you're always a friend of our importance. So anytime we call you and you have the time, you would make it. Dr. Adam Bona, thank you very much indeed, sir. He is the Acting Executive Secretary, Small Arms and Light Weapons Commission, Republic of Ghana. We're deeply grateful to you, sir.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And then to Mr. Dodsedu, should I say Reverend or Pastor? Or I don't know why I'm so
choose whichever is comfortable for you.
Absolutely right.
Reverend.
He is the Chief Executive Officer of Africa Trade Academy. We're deeply grateful to you, sir. Thank you very much for obliging us. Easy. All right, so this is how we draw the curtain on tonight's edition of Iron Port here on Metro TV. Remember, the show is proudly powered by the Ghana Port and Harbours Authority. Our partners and sponsors, Ghana Regional Authority, Well PLC, Serene Insurance, Ghana Link Network Services, Meridian Port Services, MPS, and indeed Phoenix Insurance. Remember, we shall bounce back next week, God willing, with another wonderful edition of your favorite Iron Port. We entreat you to keep watching the rest of our programs here, and remember to also watch the abridged version of Iron Port on Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. on Ghana Television. My name is Kennedy Mona. God willing, we'll see you again. Have a super week ahead, and God bless.